Good morning. It's June 1st, and this is your daily brief in science. Here's everything you need to know. The rusty-patched bumblebee has seen a dramatic decline in its range and population since 2000, shrinking from a widespread presence to sightings in about a dozen states after federal listing as endangered in 2017. A range update map and additional resources are available for readers who want more information or to participate in conservation efforts. Hundreds of counties across 33 counties have been designated as critical habitat, notably surrounding major Midwest cities such as Minneapolis, St. Paul, Chicago, Iowa City, and Milwaukee. This designation builds on a long-running effort by NRDC and others to secure habitat protections for the species. The critical habitat designations do not transfer ownership or create new reserves, but they may affect federal actions related to development, permitting, or implementation. The designation targets areas across 33 counties and may influence federal planning and permitting without altering ownership. Supportive actions include increasing native floral resources, reducing pesticide use, and providing nesting and hibernation sites such as leaf litter, plant stems, sticks, and grass mats in gardens and public spaces. Public guidance emphasizes creating pollinator-friendly habitats with native plants and minimizing toxins to aid recovery. In May 2026, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service designated roughly 1.5 million acres of critical habitat across Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Virginia, Wisconsin, and West Virginia to aid the bees' recovery. The May 29, 2026 designation aims to support recovery without creating new reserves or changing ownership. The article notes the bees' appearance and distinguishing features, while conservation actions focus on habitat protections and restoration rather than direct wildlife management. Current and potential range maps show remaining and threatened habitats mainly in the Midwest and Northeast, with high potential areas identified in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Virginia, and nearby states. A new Phase 3 trial at ASCO 2026 shows Abemaciclib significantly delaying progression in advanced dedifferentiated liposarcoma, extending median progression-free survival to 9.7 months versus 1.5 months with placebo. The study enrolled patients across 9 U.S. centers in a randomized, double-blind design and found tumor growth halted for about 10 months with Abemaciclib, roughly 6 times longer than placebo, with about 1/3 of patients achieving responses lasting longer than the average. Funding came from the National Cancer Institute, Cycle for Survival, and various philanthropic resources, reflecting government and charity support for rare disease research. DDLS typically affects people in their early 60s, arises most often in the retroperitoneum, and surgery remains the primary treatment, while chemotherapy has limited or short-lived benefit. The work builds on decades of CDK4/6 biology, with foundational studies from MSK guiding the current trial, and CDK4 amplification is a defining feature that led researchers to choose Abemaciclib for its selective CDK4 inhibition and continuous dosing profile. Early signals indicate a subset of patients may have long-term benefit, including stable disease or partial responses lasting years, with biomarker work pursuing predictors and resistance mechanisms such as cyclin D amplification. Trial participant A.N.D.Y. Strauss described dramatic quality of life and functional improvements after dose adjustments, illustrating real-world impact. The study ran from 2021 to 2024 under the SARC cooperative group, underscoring the infrastructure needed for rare disease trials. Toxicities align with what is seen in breast cancer patients treated with CDK4/6 inhibitors, including myelosuppression and diarrhea, and about 39% of participants required dose reductions, suggesting some patients may benefit from lower starting doses. DDLS has few effective treatments beyond surgery, making this trial a potentially important advancement for the disease, with earlier phase data from palbociclib followed by abemaciclib laying the groundwork and abemaciclib offering better CDK4 selectivity contributing to the Phase 3 success. A team of scientists has solved a 200-year-old puzzle by pinpointing the genes and enzymes that drive nicotine biosynthesis in tobacco plants, and they demonstrated the process in both lab tests and living plants. The study identifies 2 key enzymes, NAGR and NICGS, as central catalysts that assemble nicotine from a vitamin-like precursor and an amino acid derivative, coordinating the plant's metabolism to link two ring structures. Researchers show nicotine formation starts with a glucose-driven step, with nicotine initially formed attached to a glucose molecule that is removed in the final step. Genetic analysis found tightly linked genes that activate alongside known nicotine pathway genes, and enzyme roles were validated in vitro and in vivo. The work ties nicotine assembly to glucose-derived steps and confirms how the glucose participates and then vanishes, addressing a long-standing mystery. Nicotiana benthamiana, a tobacco relative used in molecular farming, could benefit from reduced nicotine contamination in plant-derived products. The findings open doors for biotechnology, including reducing or repurposing nicotine production and reconfiguring the system to biosynthesize pharmaceutical compounds and vaccines via plant molecular farming. While some questions remain, the research asserts that the main steps and components are understood, potentially enabling low-nicotine tobacco varieties without harming plant growth. Researchers from the University of York and the University of Copenhagen lead the study, solving the century-spanning puzzle by identifying the responsible genes and enzymes. A city of ice and rock, Batagai crater in northeast Siberia is the world's largest megaslump, a thaw-related landslide born from permafrost exposed after mid-20th century deforestation rather than a meteor impact. Copernicus. Sentinel-2 imagery highlights Batagica crater as a megaslump formed by melting permafrost, a stark example of a warming planet. The feature is rapidly expanding, currently about 81 hectares in area, roughly 800 meters wide, 50 meters deep, and about 1 kilometer long, with its area tripling from 1991 to 2018 and its fastest growth between 2010 and 2014. Thawing permafrost releases methane and carbon dioxide, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions and illustrating climate warming, with occasional Ice Age fossils and mummified wildlife found there. The thaw releases an estimated 4,000 to 5,000 tons of carbon annually, creating a positive feedback loop that accelerates warming. The crater sits about 100 meters deep and roughly 1 kilometer long, expanding at around 30 meters per year as deforestation and warmer temperatures melt and drain ice, leaving unstable sediments to subside. Deforestation in the 1950s and 1960s removed canopy cover, exposing permafrost to warmer conditions and triggering sustained thaw and geological instability. The surrounding tundra is green with shrubs and larch, while the crater slopes are largely barren and brown. Since the 1990s, the megaslump has mobilized about 35 million cubic meters of ground, with permafrost thaw accelerated as more ground is exposed to warming. Nearby Batagai town, with just over 4,000 residents, lies to the northwest along the Yana River, which courses across Russia and shapes the landscape through sediment deposition and erosion. The thawing permafrost has unearthed prehistoric remains, including a 50,000-year-old baby mammoth found in 2024 and an extinct horse discovered in 2018, noted for containing the oldest liquid blood on record. The Batagai crater sits in the Sakha Republic and is sometimes labeled the Doomsday Glacier or Gateway to Hell, underscoring its imposing scale and Arctic impact. A recent study from Pennsylvania State University argues the Amaterasu particle detected in Utah in 2021 is more likely a heavy element nucleus than a light one, which could explain its unusual path through intergalactic magnetic fields. Simulations indicate this Amaterasu nucleus would carry a kinetic charge similar to the speed of a professional tennis ball, marking a notable step in understanding ultra-high-energy cosmic rays. The Utah detection involved kinetic energy comparable to a tennis serve, and models suggest ultra-heavy nuclei can slowly release energy in vacuum, potentially accounting for its strange trajectory. These findings could reshape theories about the origins and nature of cosmic rays and prompt deeper study of how elementary particles interact with the cosmic environment. Beyond cosmic rays, the report touches on recent geological work on Earth's core, including observed flow reversals beneath the Pacific, with a related link for further reading. Future investigations include Argentina's Auger Prime Observatory and a global cosmic ray tracking network to test the heavy nucleus hypothesis. Supportive projects like Augur Prime and the Global Cosmic Ray Tracking Network are highlighted as advancing the study of ultra-high-energy cosmic rays. The idea that intergalactic magnetic fields influence Amaterasu's path contributes to the debate about the nature and origin of ultra-high-energy cosmic rays. Digital simulations indicate ultra-heavy atomic nuclei may slowly exchange energy with the vacuum, offering clues about their origin and behavior in space. If Amaterasu is a heavy element nucleus, telescopes may have been looking in the wrong directions for cosmic ray sources, challenging prevailing assumptions about their origins. Project lead Kota Moraes notes that a heavy nucleus interpretation implies misdirected searches for cosmic ray sources, urging a reevaluation of source targets. The Amaterasu particle's trajectory points toward a galaxy-free region, underscoring its unusual nature compared with typical cosmic ray sources. This has been your Daily Brief in Science. To read more about these stories, follow the links in the episode bio. You can also subscribe to these updates via email at www.brief.news. For more daily podcasts about the topics you love, visit brief.news/podcasts. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with everything you need to know.